Hey, it's Eric with Chasing the Sun. Today I am moto camping, but I'm going to be testing these all-weather fire starters. They claim to be waterproof, windproof, and have a burn rate of 5 minutes plus. So let's put it to test and let's see if it lives up to its claims.
Why does it smell nice?
What does it smell like?
Like chew it like flowers, but it makes me want to chew it like gum, right? As opposed to
You don't want to
like
do that.
one for the fire, one for me, one for the fire. Like it smell, right? It smells really nice.
I got to ask these guys why. It is an interesting concept.
Why does it smell? Does it burn like it? That's the. As soon as it lights up, I'm gonna actually smell it.
You're gonna sniff at it, okay?
Maybe it's incense. Maybe it's to attract bears. They like nice smells, right?
All right, so this is the first time we're using this, but the idea is you're supposed to twist it and you're supposed to pull it off. And this stuff,
that's the good stuff.
yes, and that's what actually burns very easily.
Most. There it is.
It's burned right away. Like once my spark hits it,
yeah.
burns pretty good.
Nice.
And they say that the more you kind of let the splinters out, the easier it is to ignite, but it burns faster. If you leave it condensed, it burns slower. Okay, smell. See if it's the same smell or not.
Now it just smells like warm.
Luke is taking a sniff.
No.
Nah, nothing. Just fire. But I am very curious. I'm going to ask them why they made a scent on it.
Yeah. It's a scented candle.
Maybe that's what it is, in case you feel aromatic.
It's recycled wax, right, from scented candles.
Oh, hey.
Finally reclaim that industry that's useless.
That might
that'll
be
get you in trouble.
That might be a good idea,
It's
actually.
a polarizing opinion.
Okay, first we're gonna demo the new ones out of the bag. So here's a brand new one. These should light up pretty easily. I don't expect them not to. There you go. You're supposed to kind of unravel them pretty easily, expose the fibers. Simple as that. Lay it on there and just strike. I'm also going to test the 5-minute burn time, see if it actually is true or not. So I'm going to start my countdown on this camera here. Okay, lights very easily. Countdown started. Let's see if it's going to do 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm tenting right now and it was raining yesterday. I'm gonna open up one of these and take it out and put it in the weather, as I think it's gonna rain a little bit again today. I'm gonna take it out and have it, actually there's quite a few here, so I'm gonna take out a couple and just leave it outside on the picnic table, get it all wet like you typically would in a camping situation, and see if it actually still burns. And then of course I'll also demo the dry ones and compare the difference. Okay, these ones were left out in the open, so I'm gonna test these to see if when I open up the fibers and it gets wet, if it's still gonna work. And just in case, I'm gonna get it wet some more. So there you go. These fibers are thoroughly wet. Now, I'm supposed to, when they're wet, I'm supposed to peel it out to expose the dry fibers again, but let's test it without that first and see what's gonna happen. Okay, so it's wet and it's not sparking up that well. But you know, after the third strike, it's not too bad. The spark is fizzing out a little bit. Let me change the camera position here. There we go. Let's try it again. Okay, so it's not lighting up because it's completely wet. But to be fair, they did say that if it gets completely wet, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to peel out the inside a little bit more or continue twisting it, because the idea is you want to expose the dry fibers, because although the outside gets wet, the inside is protected and stays dry. Now remember, these have been sitting out here for 2 days. So let's see if it's gonna work the way that the manufacturer instructed. All right, so I've exposed some of the fibers here. This one was the one that's thoroughly wet, which will not light. So if you're using this, if it's thoroughly wet, you have to open it up. You could open up with a knife and get to the core, because that's the main idea. As long as you expose the inside, it should work. So there you go. You can even unroll it if you want. Now keep in mind though, if you unroll it, it's less dense, so this would burn faster. We've got 2 that's kind of just spread out, and then 1 that's been unrolled. Let's see how this works. And this has been sitting outside, and I also doused it with water just now. But that's the outside. If you unroll the inside, it should work. So that light's pretty good. Let me move this out of the way. All right, so that's actually not bad. So it works as advertised. If you unroll it, let some of the dry fibers be exposed, you can light it up again. All right, so I've got the Firestarter and I'm gonna be testing it in Hotspring. Now I don't know if there's chlorine here, but if there is, then we'll see what it does, just for the kick of it, right? Okay. All right, so I was just in the hot spring, soaked this thing for a good hour and a half. So just for the kicks, I'm gonna see if hot spring water does anything different to this than just rainwater. There you go, it rips out pretty easily. And you know what? It still has that peach scented candle smell. I'm very curious why that's there and what's it for. So there it is. Put it right here. Okay, it's not lighting as good as it is. Well, it actually didn't light the first time, so I've ripped it out some more and see if it actually starts. There it is. Nice. Oh, there you go. So it does start. It's true. All right, so the first time, this is thoroughly soaked in an hour and a half of hot spring water. It didn't light when I opened it in half, so I had to open it some more, and it let more of the fibers out. And voila! Okay, so there's the wind. We're demoing the wind. Luke is the god of wind, trying to put this out. Well, that's pretty good. Well, I think we managed to put one out.
I think they were close to running out of time anyway.
Okay. We should demo that again later. Okay, so I'm going to test the windproof to see if it actually works. Okay, so the windproof actually didn't work that well this time. We tested it twice. Once with Luke and it worked really well. And once with me, I just did one blow and it went off. I'm not sure why. These are fresh out of the bags. I'm gonna try it a third time just to make sure. All right, we're gonna light one more to test the windproofness of it, because I tested it twice. Once with Luke and I blowing at it and it did not go out really. And then the second time, I blew it out once and it was done. So let's do a third time to see what's going on, because the bag does advertise as wind resistant. There you go. And what I'll do is I'll also demo to see if it makes a difference if I unravel more in terms of wind resistant. Okay, so this one is solid. I just twisted and started it. This one is unraveled, a little bit wet. And this one's dry inside and unraveled. Let's demo all of these for wind. This one's wet, so it's not burning that easily. Okay, that one's not going to burn. I'm not going to bother with it. Okay, so this one took 3 times to blow out. This one is not blowing out, but to be fair, this one I blew harder than this, and I purposely tried to do that to see why did the second try blow out so easily. Now I'm going to blow hard on this and see if it makes a difference. Yes. Okay, so I think that's the difference there, is my windproof isn't quite fair. Normally wind doesn't come in one big blow. And when I tried to blow at it, one big blow, it blew out very easily. But when it was a constant small blow, which is probably more real to what a wind would be, it stayed on pretty good. So let's verify that to see if it's true. So you can see it's working as expected, as long as not a sudden gust of wind, which doesn't happen often. And this, by the way, is the wet one. Okay, it's burning pretty good. It's starting to rain again. Alright, so this fire is getting pretty big now. I'm going to try that big gust of wind again to see what it does. Alright, there you have it. If you blow one big blow of wind, if you blow just suddenly one big blow, it will go away. But again, this is not quite real for a wind situation, so you can judge for yourself. If I keep the wind at it constantly, it will survive. Alright, so you've seen us put these all-weather fire starters to test, and yeah, as much as I can see it, it lives up to claim of being waterproof, windproof, and having a burn rate of 5+ minutes. If you like this product, you could buy it with our affiliate link to get you some discounts. And I'm going to be definitely packing these in my next camping trip, because like this trip, it was supposed to be sunny, but you never know. And if you leave these outside, hey, it still works. Now, if you've used these before, please leave us a comment and let us know how you think, if you had any issues with these. And then also, there's a smell to this, a really nice smell. As Luke had mentioned, there's a smell to this, a really nice smell. It's almost like scented candles. So if you are Bigfoot bushcraft, I'd love to understand why it was scented. So I hope you like this video, and if you do, please click on the subscribe and we'll bring more motorcycle and travel adventures.